morning. I'm Dana Consuelo, a prayer chaplain here at Unity in Lynnwood. Welcome to meditation. So I invite you to just close your outer eyes. Take a deep breath as we prepare to enter the sacred quiet. Just breathe gently in and out through your nose. Just letting whatever thoughts you were having just be released. All the busyness that came before to bring you here, just allow that to slip off your shoulders. Allow yourself to settle into your seat. Take a breath and just notice your feet on the ground. Just really be present in your feet. Just notice your breath filling your belly. In and out. Just bring yourself to this present moment. Let your back relax against the chair. Just be aware of your arms and your hands resting in your lap. Just know that now and always you are enveloped in spirit. You are enveloped in love. And this love is deep within you. And I invite you to consider just saying to yourself as you go into the silence, when you take an in-breath, God is. And on your out-breath, I am. Just to remind yourself of this sacred relationship. Take a breath in, God is. And release your breath with I am. Knowing this always was and always will be. God is. I am. As our sacred time comes to a close, remain open, receptive, and thankful for the movement of the Holy Spirit within you. It is a gift. We welcome our church family and those that are new to our celebratory service. We know that divine grace greets and enfolds everyone here today, both inside the sanctuary and our virtual attendance. We bless and are grateful for everyone serving today, the greeters, the ushers, the hospitality team, and our audio crew. We give a hearty thanks for the blessings of the spoken word through Reverend Richard and the inspiration of the music team led by Matthew. And finally, we give thanks for the prayer chaplain team serving today. And so it is. Yes, it is. Amen.
my whole life searching for a shelter for my soul, an understanding of the greater plan. In these walls I've seen the light of love pure and divine, helps me remember who I really am. In every face it's clear, we're all God's children here, and it feels like home, it feels like home. I finally found a place where I belong. It feels like home, it feels like home, a family that I can call my own. It feels like home. It's a place to share your burden, it's safe to shed a tear, say a prayer and raise your voice in song, where every heart is honored and every path is too. No one's here to judge you right or wrong, and there's no shame, no sin in this place where love begins. And it feels like home, it feels like home. I finally found a place where I belong. It feels like home, it feels like home, a family that I can call my own. It feels like home.
Good morning. Our hearts are flowing with all good around us. We are happy to be in a church that brings us joy, feeds our soul, and lifts us up. Let your body and mind relax into the blessed serenity of oneness with God. Let all your woes and worries drop by the wayside. Experience the calm peace that is within you, savoring the time with gratitude and love. My life is a celebration of God's love. I am thankful. Know that all your prayers are answered and that we are never alone. God's infinite goodness surrounds me, and I am abundantly blessed. And I say thank you, God, and so it is.
It feels like home, it feels like home. I finally found a place where I belong. It feels like home, it feels like home, a family that I can call my own. It feels like home, it feels like home. I finally found a place where I belong. It feels like home, it feels like home, a family that I can call my own. It feels like home.
Good morning, Unity in Lynnwood. It's great to see you on this sunny day. I always get amused by the start of that song. It looks like nobody's here, and by the end of it, it's a full crowd. So I love that. If you will stand as you are able and greet one another, and while you're at it, learn a new name if you can.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
Right.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How is everybody? So how's everybody on this beautiful Sunday morning? Yay! Welcome to Unity in Lynnwood. I am Frances Johnson, your welcome host. And I'm so happy to see you. And a warm welcome to our family online. We're happy that they are here with us as well. We are blessed to be in a church that is warm, inclusive, empathetic, and kind. We all love everyone that comes, no matter what gender orientation you are, what religion you came from, or you might have no religious affiliation at all. We respect all individuals. I love Toni Morrison's quote, "When a child walks in the room, your child or anybody else's child, do your eyes light up?" That's what they're looking for. I will take artistic license to substitute child and include all of us. I know that my eyes light up when I walk into the sanctuary and see you. And it's a great feeling. I feel the warmth and love all around. Sometimes I wish I had arms long enough to embrace all of you at once. A great example of being welcome is just before service starts, seeing the twinkle in Dr. Richard's eyes as he waves hello to you. He lets you know that you matter and you're special at that moment. I then wait to hear Matthew's melodic voice sing the first notes of his song, and I know all is well, and I'm right where I'm supposed to be, in a church that flows with God's love. Welcome, everyone, to Unity in Lynnwood.
And I think we can all say that our eyes light up when we see Frances, too.
This ain't coming from no prophet, just an ordinary man. When I close my eyes, I see the way this world shall be when we all walk hand in hand.
If you want to stand up, I won't be mad.
When the last child cries for a crust of bread, when the last man dies for just words that he said, when there's shelter over the poorest head, we shall be free. When the last thing we notice is the color of skin, and the first thing we look for is the beauty within, when the skies and the oceans are clean again, then we shall be free. You can sing along. We shall be free. We shall be free, yeah. Stand straight, walk proud, and we shall be free. When we're free to love anyone we choose, when this world's big enough for all different views, when we all can worship from our own kind of pew, then we shall be free. We shall be free. We shall be free. Stand straight, hold out, 'cause we shall be free. And when money talks for the very last time, and nobody walks a step behind, when there's only one race and that's mankind, then we shall be free. Oh, we shall be free. We shall be free, yeah. Stand straight, walk proud, we shall be free. Oh, we shall be free. We shall be free. Have a little faith, hold on, 'cause we shall be free. All right, yeah.
Oh, the ministry of Garth Brooks. You know, country music is a lot like religion. Country music is a lot like religion. It can be used to bring people together and to lift them up, or to tear people down and push them apart. So bravo to Garth Brooks for demonstrating responsible country music. For those visiting us in our virtual sanctuary today, we extend a special welcome to you. Please identify yourself with a first name, with a geography. Allow our social media host, Callee, to extend her welcome. Allow others to extend their welcome this morning. I'd like to invite you to the second visioning experience. It's called Revealing Our Why. The second experience will be offered by Zoom. The encouragement is this: complete 2 surveys. You'll find both of them on social media, or you may write the office. Preview the orientational video provided by Simon Sinek, and then register August 22nd, 6:30 p.m. And if you participated in the on-site process, come again. Come again. You are encouraged to come again, please, and thank you. My goodness, we are blessed. William from Issaquah, Mandy and Ursula, Dallery, Judy, Pascaline from Nairobi, and John Wycliffe from Uganda, and Dale, we are blessed. Let us in the physical sanctuary turn our expressions to this camera. Fran is kindly waving. Thank you, Fran, for being here. And let us speak to the members of the virtual sanctuary this morning by saying, we see you. We see the highest possibility of you. We see the enduring truths of you. We stand with you. We stand for you. We welcome you today. The Indigenous Heritage Committee. Some are unfamiliar with this work that has been done at the board level. This committee has called for participants. If this possibly speaks to you, or if you have additional questions, I would invite you to simply engage a member of the Indigenous Heritage Committee in conversation. With us today are a couple such committee members. You may engage the Reverend Dr. Jennifer Lovejoy, who waves enthusiastically even now, or Linda Babin, I suspect, would be willing to bring wisdom to your questions. They do a noble work. The next scheduled event is the creation of a medicine wheel on your 5.5-acre nature preserve. This will be the culminating event after 3 weeks of education from a community partner. Her name is Starfeather. If you would like to pray with someone following the conclusion of our time together today, join a prayer chaplain in this geography. That you might anticipate a face, may I ask those chaplains in service to you today simply to self-identify by waving or standing, please. Thank you. Please keep in mind the nearest chaplain may be behind you. If you're a member of our virtual sanctuary today and you desire to pray with someone, please begin the process by writing prayer at unityinlynnwood.org. Expect a call within a couple hours. The chaplains also offer what they call a divine wholeness opportunity. If you are so interested, please join a chaplain in the family room. That is the room behind glass, behind the sanctuary. Lynn Burton Harden waves from the family room, even now. A divine wholeness session is a silent, wordless, touchless experience in which another individual simply holds a high possibility for you. It's really quite compelling, quite powerful, practical spirituality, welcoming community. A mission statement, a few words, a mission statement of deep meaning. When we developed this mission statement, or this what we do, in late 2014, we supported it. We brought it into greater specificity through a series of statements. I remind myself of these statements every week, inviting you to eavesdrop on my reminding of myself. Today I offer the third of those 6 statements, which reads as follows: we teach the unity of all life, transcendent of culture, era, religion, or lack thereof. The unity of all life. It's not a new idea, it is an ancient idea. It's an ancient idea. Words of invocation. Take them in the manner best suited to you today. Maybe we begin together by taking a breath. One of the gifts of our Sunday morning experience, the invitation simply to breathe. You're welcome to read these with me, whether quietly or robustly. You are welcome to close your eyes and to have the experience maybe that these words are having their way with you. They read as follows: though imaged and named variously, there is a singular and eternal ground of being from which all life emanates and into which all life retreats. We choose to call this ground of being God. By extension, we come to understand that we are spiritual in nature, human in expression, and limitless in potential. We gather today to remember such truths, to celebrate our unity, and to honor all life. And so it is. And so it is. And if that were the only teaching offered today, I would consider our time to have been well spent. I am so grateful. I am so grateful to be with you today. Thank you for offering so generously the gift of you. As I like to say every week, the privilege of basking in the infinite depths of you is a great gift to me. So I begin with words of gratitude. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Is he talking to me? Yes. He's talking to me. Thank you, and thank you, and thank you. I see familiar faces. I see new faces. I include you, everyone. It is a teacher's trope, really. The first one tries. The second one tries. The third one succeeds. Think about it. The first little pig builds his house from straw. The wolf blows it down. The second little pig builds his house from sticks. The wolf blows it down. The third little pig, however, builds his house from bricks. The wolf does not blow it down. For Goldilocks, the first chair, well, it was too hard. The second chair, it was too soft. The third chair, however, that chair was just right. So whether found in Cinderella's 2 stepsisters or King Lear's 3 daughters or the old king's 3 sons, we usually find 2 older siblings failing upon some quest only to be bettered by a successful younger. A younger who is most often rejected or scorned, mocked, minimized. So common is this pattern that we might call it try and fail, try and fail, try and succeed. Maybe this is why Pythagoras called 3 the noblest of all numbers. 3 is that number that allows a pattern to emerge for that pattern-craving species we call the human being. So no, this pattern of 3, if you will, didn't begin with modern fairy tales. It would have been wildly familiar even to the students of Jesus himself. Now, in the case of today's little big story, his parable is delivered directly to a single person, a lawyer who tries to put Jesus to the test. And what you can know about those parables delivered to a single person rather than delivered to the disciples or to crowds is that the single person is about to experience what we might call an original come to Jesus meeting. In other words, we might do well to imagine Jesus turning his attention to the single person full on and addressing him by all of his names, as I remember my Southern mother to have done. Richard, Loren, Held. I want you to listen to me right now, and I want you to listen good. This is how we might imagine the scenario. So for a priest to pass by the man in the ditch would have been expected. For a Levite to pass the man in the ditch would have been expected. For even in this context, the first two characters would have anticipated a successful third, you see. Try and fail, try and fail, try and succeed. So to this point, there is no provocation. Jesus is not challenging anybody. The pattern was as familiar then as it is today. Were Jesus to fulfill the pattern in a way anticipated by his listeners, he would have had a priest pass by, a Levite pass by, and an Israelite provide care for the man in the ditch. Larry, Curley, and we anticipate Mo. Huey, Dewey, we anticipate Louie. Rose, Blanche, we anticipate Dorothy. So priest, Levite, Israelite. Priest meaning those descendants of Aaron, who was the brother of Moses. Levite meaning those descendants of Levi, one of the sons of Jacob. And Israelite meaning descendants of Jacob's other sons. And so it is that when we encounter the last names Cohen, for example, or Cain, it might suggest a priestly lineage because names such as these are derivatives of the Hebrew word for priest. When we encounter the last names Levine or Lewis, it might suggest a Levite lineage because such names are derivatives of the Hebrew word for Levite, and so forth. So you see, priests and Levites and Israelites, these are terms which speak to paternal lineage more than worldly accomplishment. Now, Jesus seldom leaves his audience unsurprised. He didn't fulfill the pattern of three with a priest, a Levite, and an Israelite, such as would have been a predictable trio. Instead, his story would have completely disarmed his listener by offering a priest, a Levite, and at last, a Samaritan. In modern terms, he would have completely disarmed his listener by following Larry and Curley, not with Mo, but with Saruman from the Lord of the Rings, you see. Or by following Huey and Dewey, not with Louie, but with Scar from the Lion King. So not only did Jesus shock his audience by fulfilling this pattern of three with a Samaritan. Now, this is somebody who would have represented centuries of enmity to Jesus's listeners. The Samaritan comforts the man, binds his wounds, shares oil and wine, and uses his own animal to transport the man to an inn where he might recover. This is the story that we call the Good Samaritan. Again, as a reminder, these names were assigned after the fact. Jesus did not sit and say, please listen to the story of the Good Samaritan. Now, last week, we explored a big little story I called talents. Jesus told a story about a rich man. Now, this was not a positive label in his context. I would ask you to remember a rich man who tried to enroll his servants into his worldly ways. Now, not surprisingly, there were 3 of these servants, 2 of whom did exactly as they were told, and a third who resisted, even under the threat of punishment. And whether we look to the world without or to the world within, don't we find that there can be a certain resistance to challenging the way things are? It was Dr. Emily Cady, an early contributor to Unity Thought, who called this resistance to challenging the way things are chemicalization. She goes on to explain that when a new consciousness meets an old consciousness, life can get bumpy as the old consciousness gives way. I have found this to be absolutely true individually. I begin to move toward positive change, and it's as if there is something ancient within me that clings in desperation. I have to wonder if this is equally true for us collectively. We begin to move toward positive change, and it's as if there is something ancient within us that clings as if in desperation. Maybe it can be said that our first little big story spoke to the courageous commitment to one's values, even amidst the threat of punishment. It was the great transcendentalist Ralph Waldo Emerson who spoke to this in his famous essay that for nonconformity, the world would whip you with its displeasure. For nonconformity, the world would whip you with its displeasure. Jesus told a story about a rich man who tried to enroll his servants into his worldly ways, and the third servant basically said, no thanks. Emerson went on to say that to be yourself in a world that's constantly trying to make you something else, that this is indeed the greatest accomplishment of an incarnation. And today we explore a second little big story. I call it Travelers, a shocking trio of a priest, Levite, and Samaritan. And let me pause to say as well, that while I offer you some possibilities, some thoughts about these teaching stories, the real encouragement is for you to allow these stories to speak to you. Allow them to come alive in you. Mature spiritual community. Oh, this is such a big one. Mature spiritual community does not describe a setting in which some man tells you what to think and you agree. Good sermon today, Pastor. That is not indicative of a deep personal spiritual work underway. Now, here is what Jesus did not suggest. He didn't suggest an anti-Semitic interpretation in which the new ways of Christianity arrive to trump the old ways of Judaism. That is not what he suggests, nor nor did he suggest that he be inserted into the story as the Samaritan arrived to provide assistance to the man or to the humanity in the ditch. Self-aggrandizement is never the mark of an authentic spiritual teacher. The early church created that Jesus. Now, Jesus was answering the lawyer's test about the Jewish scripture dictate to love God and to love neighbor when he suggested that not only did the Samaritan comfort the man, bind his wounds, share oil and wine, and use his own animal to transport the man to the inn where he might receive care, he went even further. I like to think that Jesus simply was not done provoking the lawyer. As the saying goes, Jesus may have comforted the troubled, but he also liked to trouble the comfortable, you see. He went even further. There it is. He went even further by giving the innkeeper money to meet the man's needs. And then he went even further by promising to return. And then he went even further by promising to cover any additional expenses the man's healing might require. This is what speaks to me this morning. In this teaching story, compassion goes even further. Not only does compassion see the need, compassion fulfills the need. Not only does compassion speak the prayer, compassion answers the prayer. Not only does compassion anticipate the healing, compassion initiates the healing, whether in our inner worlds or our outer worlds. Maybe Jesus suggests a universal principle made universal by the inclusion of the Samaritan, you understand, that we must live into the thing for which we would pray. If we would realize greater prosperity in our lives, pray, but then go even further by living into the consciousness of prosperity. If we would realize greater health in our lives, pray, but then go even further by living into the consciousness of health. And if we would realize greater love in our lives, a show of hands, anybody? Greater love? If we would realize greater love in our lives, pray, but then go even further by living into the consciousness of love. Pray, he says, but then go even further. Otherwise, we just keep walking past the higher possibilities which lay there, longing for our recognition. Thoughts and prayers, we say. Thoughts and prayers. Pray, but then go even further. This is what speaks to me today. Jesus finished his lesson by looking at that lawyer, as my southern mother would have looked at me, and said, if you really want to understand the law, do that. I can imagine few more tangible demonstrations than the idea of praying for the thing and then going even further than the work of Unity in Lynnwood's hands-on housing team.
Here we are at our 4th annual project.
We are at Susie and Jeff Dew's house. Susie's an 84-year-old widow. Our son is helping her take care of the home. And our loving community and unity has come together today to bring love to the community, the neighborhood, and to the Dews.
This has been a good day so far. It's a beautiful day out. We've got a lot of people here helping. Just fantastic.
I'm a gardener. I am always doing things in the yard, and it's always wonderful to be able to weed and to trim and to prune. And at the end of the day, the homeowner will have a garden again that she can be proud of.
And our homeowner, she's the sweetest lady, and she is so appreciative of what we are doing here.
The family, the lady who owns the house, she's out here carrying branches around with us, and yeah, it's a good thing, man. People are smiling a lot.
我8兄弟姐妹都有呢個種菜。我退休之後呢，為咗多勞動，更健康。我祖父賣豬仔攞美國嘅，我嘅弟弟為我全家，在1985年初，全家移民攞美國。
John, what brings you joy with a project like this?
Well, you know, what brings me the most joy is really just having our community come together and work together and laugh together and do some hard work and help out a neighbor and really just give back to the community.
You know, and I've seen more people develop relationships today, meeting the homeowner, meeting some of the neighbors. A couple of neighbors have come over, asked what we're doing. We've told them, and they're like, this is a great thing that Unity in Lynnwood's doing. How can we help?
這個房子我已經住咗30多年啦。在呢個疫情下，有這麼多人來幫我，我心情非常高興，又非常感謝你哋熱情嘅幫助。
I'm really happy to help out doing projects. I actually am a carpenter, and so it's kind of my forte. And I really like to help out in doing those parts of the projects when we do this hands-on housing that maybe is a little more specialized and, you know, takes a little bit more knowledge.
Feeling at the end of the day of accomplishment, of really seeing a makeover in one day is really satisfying.
When the smiles come on their face, that's goodness, right?
It really is.
It's such a wonderful way to meet people from the church and talk to them in a way we can't usually do, as well as practical spirituality in action.
I just think it's great that we're able to do this, you know, that the church is able to give back to the community in a good way. It's such a satisfying thing to do.
Oh my God, 這個老人住得更舒適和健康。得。
I'm John Brooks, and I'm happy to be here on behalf of the Hands on Housing leadership team. And if you've already registered, would you raise your hand? awesome, awesome. And if you haven't already registered, you know how to do that, right? Go right to the calendar page, click on it, and register. There's no cost, but it does help us in terms of planning for food and beverages for folks. Special call out to Nathan Long, who did this incredible video. Did he do a great job or what? So you can see we had a lot of fun all 4 of those years that we did it. In fact, the dues were a candidate for year 3. We just felt that there was not enough for us to do, but we did help them out a little bit, got rid of some bees nests and stuff like that. And when we got ready for year 4, they were on the top of our list. And very, very wonderful, wonderful family, and a lot of help for them. So let me just say, if you haven't signed up, sign up. It's a lot of fun. There's activities for people of all skills, all abilities. You saw some folks were painting some planters. Doesn't have to be high effort for you, but please do. Join us on the 5th. Thank you.
I give freely and generously with an open heart and open mind. We offer opportunities to practice giving and receiving that we might cooperate with the reciprocal nature of the spiritual universe. In other words, while your giving matters to us, we suggest your giving matter to you as well. Electronic giving options will appear on your screen. For those choosing to give a physical gift, the ushers will gratefully pass baskets. If you would like information about UIL's programs of regular giving, planned giving, or legacy giving, please grab a Giver Circle brochure or write Dr. Richard directly. For those already participating, we extend a special thanks. Please join me in our affirmation as it appears on the screen. I give freely and fearlessly, fulfilling the law of giving and receiving.
Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say, that we rest in God and say amen.
Do we have any newcomers today? If we do, please raise your hand and we'd love to. Thank you. We welcome you. You are invited to come to the Welcome and Information Center, which is in the back of the sanctuary, and I will be there to give you information or answer any questions that you may have. If you'd like, we will give you a copy of the Daily Word, which is an undated copy, and it has positive, uplifting messages and affirmations. And you can also go to the Soul Things Books and Gift Store, and Marion will assist you. And I'd like to feature some little cute people, a little bee and a little frog, and these were made by Felicity Silvers. And she is so talented. I would be a proud mom and dad. So go there and buy them all. And another thing, one more thing, and she makes the patterns herself to sew these up. I mean, she crochets them. Ah. So anyway, back to business. All right, we have informational cards that are in your chair backs that are in front of you, and they are anything from stay in touch, credit card giving, notes, should have done that a little bit earlier, and newcomers information. So please take a look at that at your leisure. And come to the Friendship Hall after service today, have some snacks, talk to some newcomers, and make a new friend. Invitations. Please register for all events by visiting the calendar page at www.unityinlynnwood.org. UIL's All Community Carnival and Picnic next Sunday, August 6th, 2:15 or so. Shuttle service will be active from the Fred Meyer parking lot to accommodate the family-friendly bounce house. I want to do that. Cotton candy machine, game areas, and more. Nature walks and great music in the gazebo will be included. Today is the registration deadline, and the music will be a sing-along. Sprucing Up Party, Friday and Saturday, August 11th and 12th. Please join us as we prepare our beautiful building for autumn and winter seasons. There will be tasks available for all mobility and strength levels. The music will be fun. And the food will be delicious as well. Please register with our thanks. Would you like to become a member of UIL? Of course you do. Or just to refresh your knowledge or basic history and teachings. All are welcome to attend the Basics of Unity membership class. Basics of Unity membership class, Sundays, August 27th through September 10th at 12:30 p.m. Available on-site and online. This is a requirement for membership, and yes, online viewers will be eligible for membership. Thank you so much and have a wonderful Sunday.
Thank you, Frances Johnson. I told her this morning, I said, I am inspired by that beautiful pattern. I'm also slightly envious. A little envious of that beautiful dress, I must say. So the first step in our fall spruce up is the restoration and deep cleaning of the carpets. And that is scheduled for this week. So what happens between now and next Sunday is all of these chairs, there are about 1,000 of them, I don't know, it's a big number. All of these chairs, they are stacked neatly. The carpets are cleaned, they're dried, the chairs are unstacked, that you might indeed sit where you're sitting now instead of atop a giant stack. I mean, it's a good thing. So at the present time, the chair work is scheduled for Tuesday and Thursday. This is an open call to come see me if you are willing to contribute to Tuesday's stacking or to Thursday's unstacking. Just come see me. Hand me a business card. Do they still use business cards? Do we do that? Do we do that? I don't know. You know, here's the deal. Here's what occurred to me this week. You know, we think about the priest and the Levite, and we think, oh, uncompassionate people. The story doesn't say that, does it? Doesn't say that. In fact, doesn't it become richer if we consider the possibility that the priest and the Levite were deeply compassionate, just not enough so to actually act? Doesn't that become richer? And doing what I do for a living, I can quite tell you that that is not an unfamiliar pattern. Oh, I want the thing. I want the thing. Pray for me to get the thing. But I may or may not be fully willing to live into it myself. I may or may not be willing to be changed, even though I want change. Oh, he's being mean now. I close with the same gratitude with which I opened, for the immense privilege of you this morning, for the immense privilege of exploring important ideas with noble people. I am deeply grateful. Close the outer eyes. Let us close simply by being here now. I arrived with a remembered yesterday. I arrived with an imagined tomorrow. Perhaps one of the great gifts of a Sunday morning is I can set aside both for a safe time of being here and being now. Being here and being now. Whatever isness is being itself as me today is knowable here and knowable now. Whatever wisdom is wisdoming as me today is knowable here and is knowable now. Whatever life is being itself as me today is knowable here and knowable now. So we bask in that for a moment. If you're like me, it gives rise to a certain gratitude, knowing that the God of my understanding is being fully God through me today, and that this is enough. This is enough. So my faith is restored. My heart is comforted. My eyes are softened. And I am gladdened. And we close this time together as we always do with sung words of blessing, with sung words of farewell.
May the long time sun shine upon you.